teaching in a school in Ghana, you could be volunteering in a Red Cross hospital in Japan, you could be working in a care home for children with learning difficulties in India, you could be in Australia working in a school with Aboriginal children, you could be in Brazil working on a self-sufficiency farm, growing your own produce, looking after the animals.
Top 5 tips for the ultimate ethical gap year. 1. Research.
Go online, have a good look at a number of different websites, really look carefully at where it is that you might want to go, what you want to get out of your gap year, and also the impact that you will be having on a community wherever it is you might end up. The communities where Lattitude volunteers end up really benefit from having that extra pair of hands. For example, a community in the middle of the jungle in Ecuador, they're going to struggle to find teachers. If we're sending over native English speakers to these places, these are communities that they desperately want to be able to learn English. If they can learn English, they can then move on to have jobs in bigger cities around the place. They might be able to move into another city down the road and really get a good job. They'd be eminently more employable. We work very hard to make sure that the placements that we offer are genuine and that there is a genuine need for the volunteer support. Volunteers will spend a minimum of 4 months on a placement, and that is plenty long enough to actually really get stuck in and help make a difference. You need to think carefully about how you're going to be impacting the environment while you're away, but if you buy a round the world ticket and you keep flying from country to country, stopping off around the world, doing little bits and pieces here and there, then you're going to be having an enormous carbon footprint, whereas Lattitude volunteers and a lot of other perfectly reputable companies will take you out to a country and will plonk you there, and you will stay there for 6 months. So all you've got is one flight there and then one flight back. And once you're out in your country, travelling around doesn't have to be a massive carbon footprint. You just use your local public transport, and anybody who's been to other countries will know that that can be quite an experience.
2. Budget.
One of the main things you need to think about when deciding to go on a gap year is how much it's going to cost. If you do a bit of research on the internet, you'll find there are a huge number of different operators out there offering to provide you with the ultimate gap year experience, whatever it is that you think you might want to do. But look very, very carefully at the costs. It can be very, very expensive. So the things to look out for are the very few charities that are out there who will send young people out on volunteering placements. Lattitude is one of them. And also look for money that's available to you. If you are going on a worthwhile placement somewhere, then people are going to be far more willing to sponsor you, to give you money, to put towards it. There are a couple of organisations, and again Lattitude is one of them, who have been given some money by some of the UK's biggest charitable funders to provide bursary support, financial support, to actually pay for your placement. Plan out all the other extras that you might need, so think about your flight costs, how much money you might need to have afterwards if you're planning on going travelling, visas, insurance, all things which might get overlooked, but really if you think about it carefully before you go out, then you're not going to have a bad experience while you're away.
3.
Safety. You really need to think carefully while you're out there about how you behave. Think about the support that you've got. Various different organisations will offer different levels of support depending on what you pay for and how much they want to look after you. Lattitude Global Volunteering, for example, offers a 24-hour manned emergency phone line. Doesn't go off very often, but you know that if something does happen, then there is somebody on the end of a phone who is perfectly placed to help you out. While you're out on your placement, common sense, just really think carefully about where it is you go. The sort of common sense that you'd need if you were walking through the streets here in the UK. You just need to be a little bit careful about where you go.
4. Skills.
The best thing about going on an organised placement somewhere is your career prospects. Think about what you're going to be bringing back with you, the sort of skills that you're going to have to add onto your CV. For one, teaching skills, for example, or you might learn agricultural skills while you're away, all sort of team building, that sort of stuff. You're going to have learned an awful lot about other cultures. You're going to not just be travelling around and dotting into other cultures as you move around the world. You're actually going to be immersed in the life of a community somewhere completely different, something that you're not used to. You're going to learn a lot about the world, a lot about those communities, a lot about foreign cultures, and also, most of all, you're going to learn an awful lot about yourself. You're going to come back knowing more about yourself than you did when you left. That's certain.
5.
Immerse yourself in the culture of the community where it is that you're living, and really jump in with both feet. And it sounds cheesy, but the more you put in, the more you will get out of it. Going and actually volunteering and working in a placement somewhere else around the world, making a difference in a community, is the best possible feeling that you could do. Not only have you got a great feeling about what you've done, but there is a family, there is a community somewhere, there are children, there is somebody in a hospital or in a care home somewhere who you have really, really helped during your gap year, and that's the best thing of all.